and seeking God for a very long time, but there seems to have only been silence, maybe distance, and perhaps even maybe things just getting worse, and you're wondering, does God really even care? Does God even really answer prayers? I was encouraged from reading from 1 Kings chapter 18 from verse 41 to 46, where Elijah is wrestling with Ahab because there's been this drought that has lasted for about 3 years. But I love a faith statement that Elijah mentions to Ahab in verse 41 that says, "Go up and eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain." Mind you, Elijah says this before even the rain starts coming. He says this before he even says, or he even starts praying. That means he went in prayer with faith. It is important for you to go in prayer with faith, because faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things invisible. This is exactly what Elijah does. He says there is a sound of abundance of rain before he prays, because we see after that Elijah goes and takes a bathing position on Mount Carmel, where he bows down and puts his head between his knees and he starts to pray. As he starts to pray, he says to his servant, "Go and see if there is something happening." But his servant says there is nothing that is happening. And he keeps telling his servant to go and to go back again for about 7 times. But the 6th time, his servant, when he brought the news that he brought back, was there is nothing. There is nothing that is happening. Does this mean that God wasn't working? Does this mean that Elijah's prayer were not being heard by God? Well, it tells us a different story at the 7th time of what happens. But the question here is it that some of the times as we go to pray, we may give up too soon? We give up maybe on the 1st time, the 2nd time, the 5th time, the 4th time, or even the 6th time. But here it says that the 7th time, at the seventh time, it came to pass the 7th time that he said, "There is a cloud as small as a man's hand rising out of the sea." So he said, "Go up and say to her, prepare your chariot and go down before the rain stops you." That means at the 7th time it came to pass. As Elijah persisted in prayer, as he prayed the prayer of faith, it came to pass. And I want to encourage you that it's going to come to pass for you. Continue praying, continue trusting God, because saying, "I'm going to make it come to pass." And I want you to go in the comments and say, "God is making it come to pass," if you believe